In this lesson, we'll simplify some expressions using index laws. Before we start, we should write down some useful laws. The laws could be AM times AN is AM plus N. So when we're multiplying two values that are in index form, we'll add the power. Similarly, if you have AM divided by AN, we will subtract the power, M minus N. When you have AM in a bracket to some power, N, when we remove the bracket, we'll multiply those powers. So that would be AMN. If you have square root of a number A, that can be written as A to power a half. So for example, if you had root 9, we could write that as 9 to the half power, and we know that value is 3. So in general terms, if you had the nth root of A, this could be written as A to power 1 on N. And if it was N root A to power M, we would write that as AM on N. And A power 0 is equal to 1. So they're the main rules that you'll be dealing with when we're doing these questions. In question A, we have 5y x power 4 divided by 15 to x cubed y all to the power 5. So the first thing you can do here is simplify the 5 and the 15 to give you 1 on 3. And we have y to power 1, x4 in the numerator. In the denominator, we have a bracket, so we'll multiply these powers. So 3 times 5 is 15, so that's x power 15, times y, which is y1, and 1 times 5 is 5, so that's y power 5. At this point, we see we're dividing the numbers, so we need to subtract the powers. So let's leave our 1 and 3 there. We'd have y1, and we have y5 in the denominator, so that's 1 minus 5, times x, 4, minus 15. So in the numerator, we're going to get y minus 4 times x minus 11, all divided by 3. So if you like to have positive indices, we will bring those down. So we'll have 1 on 3y4 times x 11. In question B, we have negative b to power 2 divided by a all to power 2 multiplied by a cubed b negative 4 all to power negative 1. The first thing to note is that you have negative b squared. So that's actually the same as negative 1 times b squared, which is different to negative b all squared. But in actual fact, in this question, you'll get the same answer either way you treat it. So I would write that as negative 1 times b squared on a all to power 2 times a cubed to negative 1. So 3 times negative 1, negative 3. Negative 4 times negative 1 is 4. So that would be times b4. So on the left side, we have negative 1 squared, and negative 1 times negative 1 is 1. So that can be ignored. We have b squared squared, so that's going to be b4 on 8 squared as well. So we square the denominator in the same way we square the numerator, times a negative 3 b4. So we can combine them into one fraction now. So we have b4 times b4 times a negative 3, all divided by a squared. So we're going to have b4 times b4, which is b8, and a negative 3 minus 2. So you can have b8, a negative 5. And you can write that with a positive index by writing b8 on a5 as your final answer. In question C, we have a division problem. So the first thing to deal with here is changing this division sign to multiplication and then finding the reciprocal of the right side. So we'll do that. So A3, B4 divided by 5m squared n squared multiplied by the reciprocal of the right side minus 36 A5B3 divided by 10m6 n power 1. We'll write that. So the next step is we combine these two fractions into one fraction. So we have negative 36. We have A3 from here. We have A5. We have B4 and B cubed. In the denominator, we have 5 times 10, which is 50. We have m squared, n squared, m6, n1. So we can simplify our negative 36 on 50. That's negative 18 on 25. We have A3, A5, so that would be A8. Add the powers. B4 times B cubed, so we add the power, B7. We have m squared, m6, so that would be m8. And n squared, n1, so that's n cubed. Thanks for watching.